Hello!
Hi!
Welcome back to Shoujo Talk.
Womp womp womp.
Here with another episode for you guys. Today,
We're talking about toxic fandoms because I didn't post. Kayla posted a TikTok literally of Inuyasha because she's been binge watching Inuyasha. And everyone's having like a mental breakdown with the fact that, oh my god, the anime and the manga are completely different entities. You should read the manga. Blah, 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 blah.
so yeah, today, it is still anime related, but I specifically wanted to talk about just the anime community just the anime community in general and how at times it can be really toxic, how it really doesn't need to be. People take things way too serious, and there's a lot of like aggression that I felt, right? Because I posted, like you said, I posted that Inuyasha TikTok because I'm binging it. Mind you, I have already seen the series like all the way through. In middle school, but still, I've already seen the whole series all the way through. I've read some of the manga. I didn't finish it. I can admit that. But
I read the whole manga.
like I know the story, guys, and the TikTok that I posted was so surface level. It was supposed to be surface level because we are an anime podcast with like hints of like dating and our life and all of that. And so like it was just a simple-hearted TikTok about how, if I were Kagome, I personally would not want to be the other woman in her eyes. Like that was just like my, perception.
The other woman.
Yeah, and like especially like the like the episode I was referring to was still like super early on in the series, like
season 2.
yeah, it was like mid season 2 or like towards the end of season 2, and like it really wasn't that serious, guys. And people were like literally in the comments like, "Oh, like did you watch this series like with your eyes and your ears closed?" And people were like I appreciate people that were like, "Oh, but like it wasn't like that in the manga," or like, "Hey, like the manga's so much better, like, it's so different." But then there are people that are like, "No, you're wrong because in the manga they did this. In the manga they did that. Actually, in the manga
Shut the fuck up. Go suck a dick. Go touch grass. I don't know. Go do something. I don't care. No, okay. This is my thing. Is I am a manga girl.
Right, you could be like a mainly manga girl. I'm a mainly anime girl.
Yeah, I'm mainly manga. I'm a mainly manga girl. I will try to specifically read mangas before the anime comes out. Or if the anime is getting serialized, I read the manga first. That's so I can get like some sort of like understanding of the story, because I want to be like, why is this getting animated? Why is it so popular? Like that was me with Dandadan. I found it, I started reading it, fell in love with it. And mind you, I don't think it's a good example, but mind you, the anime and the manga are like exactly panel by panel. Great, amazing, right? Oh my god. I mean, there are like a few things in the anime where they do leave out, but I mean, it's not the end of the world.
Right,
It's literally not the end of the world.
There's a difference between like an animated version that's just a little bit more condensed and like some details are left out because it's felt that it's like not important to like the main story. And then there are animated series that twist the original story. Like I think that's Inuyasha, for example. Like they are not the same story because in the anime there is that like weird love triangle thing that goes on,
which never happens in the manga.
exactly.
Which we know.
And in the manga, Kikyo is like actually like a lot more pleasant. Like that is fact to me. You know what I mean? Like I was never trying to say that like one is better than the other or that like they were supposed to be the same thing. They're not. And so I find it really unfair when people use the manga for their argument like against the anime. And one comment that I actually like found really interesting, and this is not directed at you, I know you're mainly like manga girl, but a lot of times too when I see people use manga as like an argument for something I pick out in the animated series, it's always like I always get the sense that like they're trying to make themselves seem more superior. Like people who only watch the anime are inferior to people that have read the manga, which is just not true.
Oh my god, it didn't happen in the book. The book is so much better. Like, you need to read the actual book. Like,
I'm
it's
sorry.
like the Twilight.
I hate people like that. Like, get a life, grow up a little bit. Not everyone is going to want to read the book or the manga in this case. Like, kudos to you. You read it. Cool. Like,
Do you want a medal? Like, Jesus.
yeah, do you want a medal?
I mean, I really don't care if I ruffle some feathers. I don't care if you get mad. I really generally do not give a fuck. But the thing is that since I am mainly a manga girl, mainly will start off with the manga and then go to the anime. But if there's a rare chance that I find anime first, I read the manga. I'll reread the manga from chapter 1 till the end, or whatever like update there is. And I can say for both sides of the coin, like, yeah, some animes go away from the manga, and it's a choice from the director. And if the manga artist or like the author is there with them step by step, and they're like, oh yeah, that's fine, I would love to see how you would interpret my work like this, then yeah. If the artist or whatever is like, yeah, that's fine, I don't mind that, then let them. And it's literally not the end of the world. It's two different entities, two different sources of media, even though it's literally two different sources of media. Like, I don't understand
Right, the story gets interpreted in two different ways,
and I really,
by becoming serialized as an anime.
I
Like,
just don't
point blank period.
understand why people get so mad and so frustrated when someone's like, no, I don't understand why certain people, now I'm saying everyone, certain people in certain fandoms, I'm gonna go on a whole rant, but certain people in certain fandoms will be like, oh my god, the manga is so much better, you have to read this and that. Yes, I understand. And I completely understand the manga could be better, and most likely is better, which I will read, and I will want to see I'll want to watch the anime, and I'll
you
want to
know
read
what?
the manga.
I appreciate that you want to give credit to the original artist's work. I will give you that. But when you
don't be rude and mean and nasty.
Exactly.
That's
When you
what I'm
try to
saying.
be rude and you try to make someone feel bad for having not read the manga before the anime or whatever the case may be, like, that's when I think you're in the wrong. Like, there is a difference between saying, hey, like, the manga is really good in my opinion. I think you should give it a read, especially if you didn't like this part of the anime. Like, there's a difference between saying, like, the manga is good too, here it exists, versus saying like, oh well, your opinion is kind of dumb and kind of irrelevant because that never even happened in the manga. Yeah, there's a difference.
There's a complete difference. And I mean, like, I keep reiterating, like, an anime can be a different, okay, like how the comment said, it's two different entities, and most of the times, you know, the manga will be different than the anime, and the anime will be a little different than the manga, and that's perfectly fine. It's a stylistic choice, and, you know, if you like the anime better than the manga, or if you like the manga better than the anime, that's fine. Just wipe your hands clean and be like, okay, you know what, I like this better, I'm gonna stick with it. And just be like, oh, you know, I read the manga and the manga was really good, you know, it's a little different, I think you should check it out if you want the original work. And I would have been like, okay, cool, I'll check it out. You know what?
Yeah.
Hell yeah. But for you to go and be like, no shit, or like, oh, did you watch with your eyes and ears closed? Oh wait, did you not read the manga? Are you stupid? Then I don't respect
just so
you. That's so
unnecessary.
mean, so
like,
rude.
Genuinely so unnecessary. And like, I can pull up word for word what I said in the original TikTok. Like, let's pull it up. Honestly, it's really not even that serious.
But I want to go, instead of like talking about Inuyasha,
But
I do want to go in like a fandom, you know, kind of way, because I feel
just like as a whole, the anime community
has become so toxic.
It can be so divided between people who main anime and people who mainly just read the manga. And you guys can have your preference, like Bella said, but at the end of the day, like, people will consume the media differently. People will interpret it differently. Like, your favorite character could be my worst villain. Like, it's all up to interpretation. And I don't think there's anything wrong with people saying how they felt about, you know, certain parts of a show or what they read. I don't think there's anything wrong with people having different opinions about it.
Don't be nasty. Like, that's
exactly.
literally
Just
it.
don't be nasty.
And like, so just as like a fan, so this is just my personal experience. I read My Hero. I first started getting into it when I found the manga first. When the first 4 volumes, fell in love with it. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I kept reading, and then the anime came out. Watched the anime. I enjoyed the anime. The only reason why I feel like I stopped reading / watching is because of the fandom. Like, that's literally it. It was as shitty as that sounds and as horrible as that sounds. I would
It
like try
becomes
to
like a huge
yeah.
turnoff.
I
Like,
remember I tried talking to somebody like an online community about it, and I was just instantly berated. I was basically being like told like, "Oh, you're so stupid for thinking X, Y, and Z." Like, "Oh my god, like I can't
and
believe."
that's awful.
And I was like, "Okay, bro." I'm like, "All right.
Like,
All
chill.
right."
Like, I just don't want to be guilty by association. So, like, if that's how, like, the anime community is going to treat other people, like, first of all, especially if that's, like, your first ever experience or, like, that's, like, you just getting into a series, right? Like, you should be welcomed with open arms or, like, encouraged to keep going and keep reading it or watching it. And, like, obviously, like, with a show like, let's say, like, One Piece, because it's, like, long as fuck, like, not everyone is gonna be at the same exact point of the storyline. And, like, you know at face value, like, if we're looking at only just, like, the people who watch the anime, you guys are not all at the same part, you guys are not all at the same storyline. And so, like, some people are gonna know more than others. Like, you are not stupid for not having caught up all the way to
Or you're
episode, like,
not superior.
yeah, and you're not superior for being farther ahead in a series than another person. Like, you simply just know a little bit more. And I feel like it's kind of like your responsibility. I mean, it's not your responsibility. You really don't have to do anything. But, as someone who, like, wants to create a, like, safe, welcoming environment for people who enjoy anime and manga alike, like, it should be your responsibility to say, like, hey, like, encourage them to keep going. And, like, if they have a surfacing opinion, maybe based on whatever point they're at, let them. If their opinion changes as they, like, continue on with the series, then it will change as, like, they watch and they read, like. But it's not your job, and, like, it's definitely not your place to say that they're wrong for their opinion at that time or at all. So literally, like, my words, like, from this TikTok, I said, I can't comprehend how Kagome can be okay staying by Inuyasha's side when she's clearly plan B. And I understand that, like, saying she's plan B is rude and, like, almost rage baity. And, like, my poor word choice, like, I got the backlash for it. I get that. And then I say, absolutely not. Plus, they look the same. Girl, you're a replacement when Kikyo isn't around. At this point in the anime, that was my interpretation. And, like, I did say that I have watched it before. I've watched the whole series. I've read parts of the manga. But when I consumed this media for the first time, granted, this is my first time rewatching it since I was a middle schooler. My frontal lobe is almost fully developed now.
My frontal lobe is developed.
So it's almost as if I am
Is
watching it for the first time. To be completely honest, it is like I'm watching it for the first time again. And like I said in the video that followed after, this was a surface level, like, analyzation of what I felt was going on at the time. And I was trying to look at it from Kagome's perspective, which in the anime she starts off as a 15-year-old girl. And, like, any single time that she sees Inuyasha and Kikyo together, you do get the sense of, like, she has, like, that gut-wrenching feeling. Like, she, like, feels jealous. She feels like, Inuyasha chooses Kikyo over her. Like, you can see that. I understand that, like, in the manga that never happened. I understand that as Inuyasha grows with Kagome, his feelings develop, and as he unravels, like, what happened in his past with Kikyo, he's able to detach in a sense. But, like, from the perspective of a 15-year-old girl who sees the boy that she loves with her reincarnation, mind you, she always gets compared to her reincarnation, not just because they look alike, but they have similar powers, and, like, they have, like, somewhat similar, like, morals and values, even though they are separate people. Like, I would be devastated as a 15-year-old girl. Like, I would not want to, like, me looking at it as a 22, almost 23-year-old woman, I would not want to be with a guy like that in this moment in time.
I also just feel like, I'm not gonna lie, like, the anime fandoms, a lot of, I'm not saying everyone,
Yeah.
before you get offended, I'm saying, like, a lot of the times when you have a different opinion in an anime fandom, like in an anime fandom, or even just like a I guess, yeah, just a different opinion. You're just like berated, you're ostracized, you're just like, oh, you're wrong, this and that. And I mean, like, if I rewatched Inuyasha, I would feel the same way because I haven't watched it since like high school. And this is when I was like, what, 16, 17?
Yeah, I
And
haven't watched it since I was a child.
yeah, and I remember when I first watched it when I was a kid, I was like, why would she be with him? Ew. And,
right, like,
and then I was like, but the more I kept watching it, I was like, oh, I'm like, but they
but
need
they
to be
are
together.
yeah, and like people are like, oh well, you know, if Inuyasha loved Kikyo so much, then why wouldn't he like just ditch Kagome and be with Kikyo? Like,
Oh my god, that never happened in the manga. Like, I don't know why you're saying it this way.
that
Touch grass.
like
Go touch grass.
I mean, if we want to like think about it like rationally and also from like a director's point of view, that makes absolutely no sense to do just because then the main plot line of like Kagome and Inuyasha were supposed to like collect the jewel shards together, like that would be completely thrown out the window. Oh, but like what if Inuyasha collected it with Kikyo? Like she's supposed to be a side character and I understand that, and like nowhere in that video did I ever say like they were better off like not making it a love triangle and Inuyasha and Kikyo should just be together. That's not what I'm saying because I do think that as they grow together, Inuyasha and Kagome like do become the perfect partners for each other. Like they've really grown with each other. And obviously like Kagome has like grown and matured in the sense that she understands why he has that attachment with her, with Kikyo. Where was I going with this? Where did I even start?
Okay. This is, I think I'm going to go a different, like, way. But, like, I'm just saying, like, anime fandoms. Okay, I'm just going to say this as somebody who has watched anime for a really long time, who watched anime, who got really into anime after her parents died, you know? Anime and manga is like any other type of media that anyone can get into, anyone can read / watch, you know? And, like, TV shows and comics, like, it's, like, a good way to, I'm not saying escape, but it's a good way to like read something that you like or watch something that you like and actually enjoy it, you know? But I feel like since anime's become so popular and now everyone has different opinions, everyone has different ways of thinking, they interpret media very differently. Like personally, One Piece, right? I'm just gonna say this in my opinion. I hated One Piece in the beginning. I didn't like it. I thought it was too shonen-y, and I love shonen. You know, I just thought it wasn't like I just thought it was just such like a mindless shonen that was just gonna be like a mindless shonen for how many episodes, how many chapters. And then I kept watching it and my opinion changed. I was like, I literally went in being like, oh, everyone likes this. Every guy likes this. This is so stupid. Like, it's just going to be a typical, like, they're going to fight. They're going to have a training arc, this, that. But it was way more than that. It talked about real world problems. And the more I watched it, the more my opinion changed. And I was like, wow, like, I'm so glad I watched it and read the manga. And now I'm like, now I'm not caught up all the way in the manga. I'm only on like chapter like 890, almost 900, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, like I'm so glad I read the manga. I'm so glad I'm watching the anime. I'm so glad my opinion changed. Because in the beginning, I was like, so I guess reluctant. And I was like, you know, I'm not going to watch it. It's just a mindless shonen, da 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 da. But people's opinions change. People can have their own opinions with any form of media, even regular schmegular TikTok, regular schmegular shows, Twilight. People love Twilight, people hate Twilight. There's like, I feel like there's no ifs, ands, or buts. But for people to like turn around and be like, I can't believe you hated this. You didn't like this. I can't believe you didn't read the manga. Like shaming you for liking something, liking only the show or liking only the manga. Like there's nothing wrong with watching, reading one or the other. There's nothing wrong with liking both. But there's something wrong if somebody goes to you and it's not to your face. It's literally just online. Going
right,
like
try and
online.
say that to my face. Like for me, okay, first of all, in like this is we're having this conversation because of the TikTok, and I'm really getting sick of people coming to our comments and making us seem like we're dumb in our interpretations for shows that we've talked about. It's surface level. If we want to have an in-depth conversation, that's why we came to the podcast to do so, right? Like let's just like be clear about that. But like in my original TikTok about Kagome, I'm like how could she not feel like she's being compared? How could she not feel like she's the other woman or
in
a
the
plan
eyes
B?
of a woman, yes,
Right,
in the eyes of a
woman.
young woman.
How could she not feel that way? Because I would feel that way, and that is all I was trying to touch on. The fact that like this is my opinion, and that is touching on how I would feel if I was in Kagame's shoes. But then someone has to go and say like, well, no shit, they look alike because that's the reincarnated version of her. That's me like double explaining. And second of all, I mean, you can have like a deep long ancestor. I think it's like just kind of coincidence that like her reincarnated self, like Kikyo's reincarnated self looks like her. It doesn't always happen that way though.
And that's what I mean. That's how the manga artist wanted it, and that they kept
And
it
I
in
feel
the
like
anime.
it's kind of a given. Like,
That's how
okay,
animes usually go.
yeah, like I could have either said like, oh, like that's, you know, her reincarnated self, or oh, they look exactly alike. Like I think it's kind of the same thing in this scenario, like, which I thought was an obvious, but I guess not.
My thing is with the. I'm gonna be so honest. One of the reasons why I kind of got out of anime for a while, one was just like due to the fact of like I got so busy, my schedule was so hectic, and like
Yeah.
I just started reading manga more often because I couldn't sit down and actually watch like a 12, 24 episode show, right? But also another reason why was, I'm not saying this now because this is when I was younger. When I was talking about like My Hero, I found out My Hero when I was younger, and like my feelings were very hurt, and I felt stupid for ever like having a different opinion than everybody else, and so I stopped watching My Hero. Now I'm finally getting back into it as a 24-year-old woman, you know, and I'm not. But all I'm trying to say is words affect others. Like how you say words and how you type words and how you just like phrase things hurts people's feelings, especially if you're a young anime fan who's slowly getting into anime, slowly trying to branch out into different like genres. Like let's just say like you only watch shoujo or you only like romance, but now you're trying to branch out to shonen. But you're like a young impressionable kid, and they try to say something that they feel like they have an opinion on when they first started watching, and then you just turn around, point at them, and say you're stupid,
And like
you're
you trash
fucking
on
stupid,
them.
yeah, and you're like, I can't believe you would have a trash opinion about this because you're so fucking wrong.
Right, like it's like, oh my gosh, like you totally missed the mark. Like you didn't understand this like deep and intellectual like conceptualism that happened like in this very episode, and then they like reiterate it in the manga. Like, oh, but you didn't even read the manga, so you're stupid.
Like there's nothing, don't there's no need to shame
You're not making this like a welcoming community, and
and I feel like a lot of people, at least for me, when I talk to people who are really into anime, like it's a mutual friend that Kayla met through me. His name's Josh, you know, we talk about him here and there, and he has a really big anime account, and we talk about anime all the time. But we've talked about how like the anime community, at least as of right now, has become so toxic and just so like
just not,
a
again,
nasty
not a
place.
welcoming
Yeah.
place, a very nasty place. It makes
And it
me
just-
kind of like not want to associate with the anime community.
Sometimes,
but
yeah.
that's kind of who we are. Like we are an anime podcast to
We
our
love
core.
anime. Yeah, we love anime. We grew up with anime, and like the thing is like, okay, for certain things, I feel like, okay, I'm gonna be so honest, and in my opinion, I'm gonna say in my opinion, with anime and any form of media, you can have different opinions. You can have variety of different opinions. You can say I could watch Nana and be like, oh, I hate Takumi. Like Takumi's a scumbag. Da, da, da. But someone else can watch him and be like, you know what? Like I feel for him, this and that. Even though I've never met anyone like that. I'm just giving an example.
Yeah, that's a really awful example.
Yeah,
You
but-
should have used like Junko, because I don't like Junko.
I like her.
See? But we're still best friends because we can have intellectual conversation about why she understands Junko and why I don't understand Junko.
Exactly. I mean, I did meet someone who did like Takumi, but it was like just face value, and I mean, like he's hot.
Yeah, and you know
Hot.
what? I feel like as an anime community, like if we really want to like deeply analyze like when Hachi was in that position, like that was her like celebrity crush, that was her idol. Like
Fine as hell,
of
but piece of
of
shit.
course she fell into his trap.
I would.
Like,
The fuck, I would. But then I would be like, oh, but I wouldn't leave. I don't think I would leave.
see?
Exactly.
Like we can acknowledge like all of these things. Like there is a lot of like intersectionality, and there's like it's not black and white. I think I said that in like a way old episode, like with like I think I was using Yasu as an example. Like he's not good or bad, he's morally gray. Right.
And we have a lot of friends, and most likely you have friends who are very morally gray. But are you still friends with them? Yes, because you have different opinions. But people with different opinions can be friends. But in politics, I don't think so. I think in politics,
I don't understand how that happens
No.
because I've seen people that are married with like opposing political views. I think what happens with people like that is they like merge to find somewhere in the middle.
But even then, like, I mean, if you have a different political view than me and you explain and I explain my view and we both can like go from there and be like, you know what? Yeah, like I learned something new about what you politically view and then I learned something new. But if you are going, like, I'm saying this, and I'm a liberal woman to the day I die, as you can fucking tell. But if you have like a completely different opinion than me and you consider certain people aliens, you consider certain people like illegals, and you just don't, and you don't have any humanity and you're okay with whatever's happening in the political climate right now, you can unsubscribe, you can block me. I don't care. I will stand up for what I think is right. But that's the thing. Political views, I feel like Kayla and I have the same political views.
Yeah.
Simple as that. And a lot of my friends and I have the same political views. But the thing is, like, our opinions in media are completely different. Like, I don't like White Lotus. I never got into it. But all my other friends love White Lotus. And I personally never got into Jujutsu Kaisen. I don't like Jujutsu Kaisen.
I liked Jujutsu Kaisen.
Exactly.
I like Chainsaw Man too,
I never
and
got
know you
into
didn't
it.
like it.
Exactly. So it's perfectly fine having different opinions. There is no reason for you to point your finger and be like, you're stupid for not liking this anime, this manga, or not reading both of them and watch them at the same time simultaneously because you can't understand intellectual property.
Here's the thing too. I think moral of the story, because you touched on politics and like, you know, obviously I feel like we would have talked about politics at some point. Obviously, I think you know where we stand. I think, okay, I want to digest this like in the correct way, but this applies to politics. This can apply to religious views. This can apply to like, do you like Junko or not? Like, it is the way that you express and you put your opinion onto other people.
Yes.
Like with politics, like there are certain topics that I don't think are politics, like that have become
Human rights.
that have become political.
Yes.
I can't include that in this conversation.
No.
But like the reason why it has become a problem, especially with politics, especially with religion, and now with the anime community, is the way that you try to enforce your opinion on other people, which is not okay. The way that you try to demean other people for having a differing opinion is not okay. And I think that there is a beauty in having an understanding that there are people that will just never agree. There are views that are completely opposite, and there is someone that's going to like an anime and someone that doesn't like an anime, and they can still be friends.
Yeah.
Like obviously, like that goes a lot deeper when it comes to religion and politics, but I think at the core of it, it is the way that you express your opinion.
Yes.
And it is certain people's choice to push and like shove down their opinion down other people's throats that I don't think is okay. And yeah, again, seeing that in the anime community is really disheartening because that is exactly what's making it a toxic place.
Yes. And it just sucks because I remember when the anime community, when I was younger, before it got really toxic, before it got so mainstream, it was just such a fun.
It was so like niche, like it was a little
Yeah.
safe bubble, like
And like all the discords that everyone would make, and we'd
Yeah.
all talk, we'd hang out. It was so fun. But now that like it's become such, and I'm so glad anime is mainstream. I'm so glad it's like socially acceptable now. Like
and I'm glad that we can have conversations
Yes.
about shows that we like
And
yeah.
enough
for us to have a podcast because there are enough people that consume anime and manga like to want to like
Listen,
listen
or,
to
like,
us.
yeah.
Of course, like we are grateful that the community has grown, but at what cost? You know what I mean? And I think also like I don't think it is a problem with people who watch anime. I don't think it's a problem like like within the anime community specifically or the anime manga community. I think it is an issue with people because again, like this type of like enforcement of like your own opinions, like it is across the board, like anime, religion, politics, even down to like
food.
yeah,
I'm
even
gonna be so honest.
yeah, seriously, like it
Be anything.
could be anything.
Moral of the story, if you're young and you watch us and you listen to us, I just want you to know that if you have a different opinion from somebody else and they say that you're stupid and this and that, No, you're not. You literally are fine.
This is supposed to be a safe space.
This is a safe space. And our TikTok, I even commented, our TikTok page is a safe anime community where you can have a variety of different opinions. We can talk about it, we can digest whatever. But the moment you get nasty with us and you get
nasty with other people, that's the thing.
No.
We can handle it. Like,
I can handle it. Yeah.
Bella can handle it. I get a little frustrated, and Bella can handle it. But I don't want to be that person that has to delete comments, that has to block people.
Oh, I will. I don't give a fuck.
I don't want to have to be that person because you don't know how to respectfully express your opinion.
Yeah.
You can disagree with us. You can flat out tell me, like, in a respectful manner that there is something I missed. Like,
yeah, they could have been like, hey, you know, in the manga, like, X, Y, and Z happened, not in the anime.
Like, if they wanted to rebuttal, like, my opinion, like, they could have been like, oh, first of all, like, in my TikTok, I was only talking about the anime. I thought that would be obvious that, like, arguments supporting the manga or using the manga to, like, rebuttal
is not valid.
And
there was a girl, I'm not gonna say her username, but there was a girl who just kept putting manga panels, and I said, girl, it's not that serious.
And, like, she had to comment back and be nasty. Like, it really isn't that serious, though. Like, you can tell me that I'm wrong. You can tell me that there's something that I missed in the anime for that TikTok specifically, or just in general. If we're talking about something and you feel like there's something that we missed, or we missed the mark, or you even have your own interpretation of it, you are 100% free and valid to express that to us.
Yeah.
And you are free and valid to express that to anyone in our comments. I want this to be a fun place, a fun, safe environment where we can have conversation. And, like, we don't all mindlessly think the same thing, because where's the growth in that?
Yeah.
Where's the learning in that?
Yes. Kayla and I are very open to constructive criticism, especially when it comes to, like, anime or manga. If we miss something or we interpret something wrong, or, like, if it was completely incorrect and you tell us, I'd be like, oh, wait, actually, that's so cool. Thank you for letting me know.
And obviously, you're not going to get that from a 7-second clip of, like, you know, text bubbles, or, like, you know, like when I had that Junko clip up and people were like, they were like, girl, like, you're so stupid, like, Junko is like, and then they started coming at me thinking that, like, I was defending Hachi to the core. I'm like, all of these characters are bad in their own way, like, but you're not going to get that depth. You're not going to get that, like, analytical, like, or the analysis from a 7 to 20 second clip.
And, like,
people are just very quick
to judge,
to come for you,
to judge,
to come for you, and to, like, and just run their mouth when their opinion on surface level is different from yours.
And you know
on surface level.
If that's how you act upon any form of media, if it's, like, literally a 7-second clip, 20-second, 30, 40, 50, I don't give a fuck. If that's how you are, then okay, that's fine. But don't come on our page and act stupid. That's it. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Don't come on our page and act stupid, because I will delete, I will report, and I will block. Simple as that. Because I grew up with anime, and I grew up with meeting a lot of people in the anime community. I've made a lot of online friends from the anime community.
I don't need to be made to feel like I don't know what I'm talking about.
Exactly. And, like, and the thing is if I don't know what I'm talking about and I sound stupid, say it in a respectful manner. Be like, hey, girl, like, that's not it. And I'd be like, oh my God, you're so
or,
right.
Like, have you ever thought about it like this? Or, oh, like, I remember in the manga or in this chapter, like,
this
whatever
happened.
Yeah, or, like, oh, but, like, in the anime this actually happened too, like, what about that? Like, there is a way to have, and, like, you know, having that type of conversation leads to something that's a little bit more peaceful, don't you think? Instead of saying, like, oh, you're wrong for thinking this, or how could you think that because of blah 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 blah, or did you even read it, did you even watch this? Like,
suck my ass. That's all I'm gonna say. Next time I get a comment like that, I'm gonna say suck my ass.
There is a difference, and we just want to put it out there that that is the type of respectful conversation we expect from the comments. And, you know, if you were ever in our comments, like on TikTok or here on YouTube, and you felt that, like, someone was coming at you, just, I hope you know that we will find it and we will try and protect everyone as much as we can from it. There are going to be a lot of trolls. Like, that's just the internet. Like,
I mean, that's just the internet.
Yeah, there's nothing we can fucking do about trolls on the internet. But as an anime community, if you want to have intellectual conversation you have to understand that, one, we're going to have differing opinions at times. Two, if you want to express your differing opinion, please do it in a respectful way. And three, at the end of the day, we're all talking about this because we like the media. We liked the show, we liked the manga, and we want to talk about it. And we want to learn more about it, or we want to see it in a different light. I wouldn't be posting these TikToks. We wouldn't be talking about these different animes if we wanted to find like millions of people that felt the same way or read it, watched it the same way. You know what I mean? So, yeah, exactly.
And this is back on my point, but our mutual friend Josh talked about recently how a lot of animes aren't really very like, they're just so surface level. They're just like point. They're like boom, 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 bow. There's no like, what's the word called? Now I'm acting stupid. There's no intellectual like conversations happening with animes nowadays because it's so surface level. It's just like point blank periods, like this, that. Like he gave Solo Leveling as an example where you can't really like dissect the characters. They're just there. They're very flat, you know? Mind you, I read the manhwa. I enjoyed the manhwa. I really like Solo Leveling. I like the anime. And that's fine. He doesn't like it. I like it. There's nothing wrong with that.
You guys are still friends, and you can explain why you liked it, and you can explain how reading it made you feel like, you know, it was in depth to rebuttal his point.
Exactly, because
but you have done it in a respectful way, and he has understood that from you.
Yeah, and I mean, I've said to people like, you know, like I like Solo Leveling. Reason why? Because it's such like a good feel good manhwa / anime just to turn my brain off and just watch and just forget about my day. Some people don't like that. Some people like being able to watch anime and dissect characters and really think about, you know, how these characters are and really like and how they become like how they're human, you know, like very like how the author put themselves in them. Like
Right, how the
Attack
author
on Titan is
humanizes.
such a good way to think about that. Like Attack on Titan is a beautiful anime. You can dissect every single character. They're very, you know what I mean?
Just like the complexity
Yeah.
of like character dynamics, like.
But sometimes you don't need that, in my opinion. And that's the thing, in my opinion. And that's perfectly fine. And if you don't like Solo Leveling, that's fine. I don't care. And most likely if I like Solo, you don't care. We both can be like, wow, I have this opinion of Solo Leveling. And I'd be like, I have this opinion of Solo Leveling. That's so cool.
There's no
Why?
reason to clash.
Yeah, there's no reason to clash. There's no reason to be mean. If I like it because I'm gonna turn my brain off and read like an action / like regression anime or a manga, I'm gonna do that and I'm gonna enjoy it. And if you don't like that and you want to read something like angsty or like something more complex, then that's fine.
Also,
yeah.
having different reasons for liking an anime, like for someone to like say to me, like, oh well, I just want to like respect, you know, the integrity of the original story. That's great.
That is so great. Actually, that is very great.
I really appreciate that from you. But someone else could say, you know, I read it because like I liked the characters. I like how they look. I like the era that it was written in.
That's fine.
That's fine too. Like we can have like different reasons for liking the same thing.
Yep.
At the end of the day, we still like the same thing. Why are we arguing? That's like literally it. So
I'm gonna be so honest. The reason why I started reading One Piece and watching One Piece was because of Zoro. I'm gonna be honest. That was the only reason why. And then I got into it, and then I started really liking it, and then and then it was just so beautifully written, and all the characters are so. Oh my god! I started reading it because of a hot anime character, and now look at me, part of the fandom. Wow, guys.
yeah, absolutely. And I am someone who is interested in getting into the One Piece fandom. And now I kind of just worry, like, you know, I obviously have a small platform that I like to talk about my opinions and, like, how I'm, like, experiencing things as they come up. Like, but what happens if I have an opinion, like, way early on in the story based off of characters that change significantly, like, later on?
Are you going to shame us?
Yeah, are you going to shame me for that?
See, that's not okay. We need to bring back stoning.
No.
Stoning.
That's exactly what it feels like they're doing, though.
Exactly. Bring back stoning back. People need to feel shame, okay? You need to feel shame. Jesus.
Yeah. We just need to have a little bit more integrity for each other and understand that we all have different minds. We all have different experiences. And, like this is going all the way back to our Nana episode when I talked about Junko. Like,
everyone was sending her hate.
You guys were sending me so much hate, but also, like, can you, like, just, you know, take a second to understand that my opinion of her comes from my own psychology, my own experiences with friends like that, and that has nothing to do with you. Like, you can express your opinion of Junko. Bella has done so, and I understand her point of view. I understand why people like Junko. I think that at her core, she is a headstrong person. Like, point blank, period. But did I think that she was a good friend to Hachi? Not all the time. Maybe she gave her, like, a tough love. But, like, her form of tough love at some point was not telling her best friend that she was being cheated on by her other best friend. Things like that. There can be intersectionality between characters and having good traits and bad traits. And I just don't understand why the anime community is so black and white, like as if you can't like and dislike traits within like one single character. And also understand that characters grow over the time period. Like,
exactly. You know, one person can like bald men and someone can else like, you know, guys with hair. Someone can like hairy guys. Some girls like don't like hairy guys.
Something that Yasu was a green flag, something that he wasn't. Like,
some people could like a small peewee, some people can like a big peewee. You know, that's fine.
We all have our differing opinions. It's you know what I'm thinking of right now? I'm thinking,
and some people can let a man drag you for months and years and you won't bat an eye, but then the moment your friend does something, you just drop her from the end of the world. That's just a personal experience I'm talking about.
Yeah, like there's just a lot of like tension, and like people are just so quick to come at you for having a differing opinion, and it's not cool. It's never been cool. It never will be cool. And yeah. So
if you're mean in the comments, I will be mean back. I hope you know that. This
Bella
is my
will be
platform.
mean back. I will probably just delete comments.
Yeah, no, this is our platform. This is, like I said, a safe space.
We also just don't want to foster hate.
This is a safe space for everyone to have different opinions, for everyone to talk. But the moment you get rude or mean to anyone in the comments or to us, this is my platform. I'm saying this is our platform. We can do what we will with it. And if you're mean, I'm going to be mean back. And if you don't like it, then don't be mean. Simple as that.
Or
just don't be mean.
Or just don't comment anything at all. Like, what happened to like when our mothers used to say like, hey, like if you
nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all.
Yeah.
In that
seriously. I feel like Cornbed from Sinners, and he's that like
be
one
kind
line
to one another.
Yeah, he's like we should all be focusing on like the bigger issue, or
what
like
we need to do,
and then we're like,
what do we and Delta what's
Delta Slim's like,
what's like
witches.
Witches. He's like, be kind to one another.
Yeah, seriously, guys, like there's no reason. And obviously I know like we generate a lot of traffic from people that don't know us on TikTok, and so sure, like seeing like a clickbaity, rage baity, like 20-second clip on TikTok of me like bashing their favorite anime, or like bashing a certain point, or just saying something that they don't like.
The moment you bash someone's favorite character is the end of the world. Oh my god, it's the end of the world, because how could you not like my favorite character? God forbid a girl likes somebody else other than your fucking favorite anime character.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say this with the most honest opinion of my opinion. I never liked JJK, never got into it. I think JJK was just overhyped, in my opinion. That's all I'm going to say. And I'm going to stick by that hill. I don't care what you guys say. I don't care what. It's just my opinion, how I feel about the anime. I've read a lot of shonens. Mm-hmm. And I've read a lot of different types of mangas of different varieties that are very well written, that aren't as popular as JJK. I never got into JJK. Sorry.
That's perfectly okay. I don't hate Bella for it. I'll probably just watch JJK by myself.
I'm gonna make this into a clip, and everyone's gonna be like, "How could you not like JJK? I can't believe that. You're just so stupid. I can't believe you can't understand certain media."
At some
You have
point,
no complexity in your fucking mind. Oh my god.
at some point we do this to ourselves too, because we choose like what to clip from the episodes and to post on
And I'm
TikTok.
editing, so I'm
Bella's
gonna
editing this
yeah.
episode, so
I hope you guys are excited.
for how she adds fart noises into
Yeah.
everything. But here's the thing, like, I understand that you can't get the complexity of our opinion from a 20-second clip. Like, that is
Yeah.
just to be expected.
But don't be fucking mean. Don't
Just
be rude.
don't be rude. Don't be rude. Point blank period. Don't be rude. Be kind to one another. And
And if you can be mean and rude on the internet behind a fucking screen, right? Try saying that to somebody's face. Try saying that to somebody's face. I really don't understand what happened to people after the pandemic. Like, why is everyone so mean and rude now?
yeah.
Like, there's like, I don't know.
yeah.
I don't know. Don't care. But yeah, like I said, I'm gonna reiterate. If you're fucking mean in any of these comments, I'm deleting, blocking, reporting, and I'm gonna be mean back.
There you have it, guys. So,
And I'm actually pissed, and I never get really mad on this. This podcast is supposed to be like a fun little time where we yap and talk, but I've been pissed this whole time.
yeah, I mean, just this morning with people being rude in the comments, like, I'm the more sensitive one too, and I've kind of detached a little bit.
The
Bella's angry.
more I talk about it, I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah. So I think that's it before we start talking ourselves in circles and reiterating the same things over and over and over.
Just be kind to one another,
be
guys.
kind to one another. No, literally, guys.
Just
honestly,
be nice.
like, we want the anime community to remain a safe space. There's no reason for us to hate on each other. There's no reason for us to dog on others for having different opinions or liking different things from us, because, like, why would they? Why should they?
One opinion that I will not slander for: Labubus are cute, and I'm gonna at you. I'm gonna at you. Labubus are cute.
They're cute in an ugly way. And if you've seen, I don't know if I reposted it on the
Yeah, I
TikTok
saw.
one. I think I reposted it on my personal. That's like,
Girls that like Labubus like medium ugly men.
yeah, girls that like Labubus like medium ugly men. So, no wonder.
Okay, I'm gonna end this. Come and hit my vape. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Love you.